to good evening to PGL Club Meeting, our meeting number 220. Welcome, and we have our Toastmaster today, who is Anvita. Toastmaster Anvita, over to you. Take it away.
Push your limits. Good day, Toastmasters and our guest Irfan. You may have heard this phrase often. What does it mean to go beyond our limits? What are these limits? Are they only illusions? Have we created them in our mind? Limits are not physical walls. They cannot be drawn on the sand like lines. They are both real as well as imaginary. Hypothetically, if I have severe knee pain now, I cannot climb 4 floors because then my knee pain will worsen. I may even need bed rest. This limit is real. On the other hand, if I keep telling myself, Anvita, you cannot be the Toastmaster of the day ever, then that is imaginary. Imaginary limits are due to our past experiences, fear, or it's an echo of somebody else's doubts. I was terrified of public speaking before I joined Toastmasters. The first time I attended a Toastmaster club as a guest, the table topic master gave me a topic. When I climbed the stage, my legs were trembling. My voice was shaking. Yet somehow I managed to speak for 2 minutes and I got off the stage. At that moment, I realized a very powerful truth. Courage is not about being fearless, it is about acting fearless in spite of fear. That's why it's okay to be a seasoned Toastmaster and still feel fear as long as you keep going. Going beyond our limits is not about doing something extraordinary. It is about choosing growth over comfort. It's about saying yes to the unknown, to hard work, and to facing failures. Because on the other side of failure, there is progress. Today, I would like to challenge all of you. Think of one limit which you have accepted. Ask yourself if it is real or imaginary. If it is imaginary, then go beyond that limit. In Toastmasters, we constantly go beyond our limits when we take up new roles, when we speak on different topics, or take up new leadership positions. The first session is the prepared speeches session, where we go beyond our limit by choosing a different project, pathway, or even a new topic. Our first speaker is a Freedom of Information Act officer for the United States Environmental Protection Agency and has been a member of Toastmasters for over 25 years. Is it possible for people you have never met to be your mentors? DTM Kaushal thinks it's possible and will tell you about 2 authors that he looks up to even though he has never met them. Please put your hands together to our first speaker, DTM Kaushal, who is attempting his persuasive influence path introduction to Toastmasters mentoring, which is 5 to 7 minutes long. Put your hands together to DTM Kaushal Gupta, looking up to authors as mentors. Looking up to authors as mentors, distinguished Toastmaster Kaushal Gupta.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. In a mentorship relationship, you are usually talking with someone. Mentorship is a conversation in which the mentee shares their problems and challenges, and the mentor shares their experience and wisdom. It's a mutual act of listening. Both the mentor and the mentee usually have to be there in person in order for that relationship to work. If the mentee, instead of talking with the mentor, reads a book written by the mentor, you might not expect that relationship to work. It's not even a relationship, is it? There is no interaction. But I have recently read two books in which I felt that the author seemed to understand me so well that it felt like a conversation, even though we had never met. I will now tell you about these books. They are On Call, A Doctor's Journey in Public Service by Anthony Fauci, MD, and How We Learn to Be Brave, Decisive Moments in Life and Faith by Marianne Edgar Buddy. You may already know the author of the first book, Anthony Fauci. During the worst years of the COVID-19 pandemic, he was a daily presence in the news, giving the public both the latest information as well as hope. But did you know that long before the COVID pandemic, he was a leader in the fight against another pandemic, AIDS? He helped get crucial funding for AIDS research. Also, as a doctor, he personally treated AIDS patients, providing them the latest medicines and doing his best to ease their suffering. So, how do I see Dr. Fauci as a mentor for me? In my job with the federal government, I am sometimes the government's representative to the public. When that happens, the public sees me as the face of the government, and they might not like what they see. Dr. Fauci has been in the same position. AIDS patients, who often had fewer than 2 years to live, blamed Dr. Fauci for the federal government's failure to do enough to help them. They yelled at him in public meetings and even called him a murderer. How did he handle it? Calmness and compassion. That's a lesson that I can apply to my work. I sometimes talk with members of the public who have lost their homes, their health, and even their loved ones to environmental disasters. By the time they meet me, they are already fed up with the bureaucracy and see me as just adding to their problems. But if I am calm and compassionate to them, I can at least show them that I am on their side. And when they realize this, that helps them endure. Now I'll talk about the second book, How We Learn to Be Brave. It was written by Marianne Edgar Buddy, who is the bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of Washington. She is not as well known as Dr. Fauci, but she has made headlines a couple of times for criticizing the policies of a certain president. She is a strong proponent for civil rights and the LGBT community. In her book, she asks, why do we make bold, life changing decisions at some times and stay in place at other times? And what kind of courage do you need in order to persevere in either case? So, what do I see in Bishop Marianne as a mentor? As you may know, America's current leadership is trying to shrink the government as much as possible. The leadership has fired many of us, and for the rest of us who are still working, the leadership is offering early retirement. And if we don't take that early retirement, they may fire us later on. And what will happen to the programs we work in if we are not there? What will happen to the people we serve if we leave? There are many Americans who are considering leaving the country altogether. Bishop Marianne's book has some great advice for us, whether we decide to stay or go. We need courage and perseverance in either case. Whatever we decide to do, we can make it the right decision by being brave. This is my favorite quote from the book. We need to be honest with ourselves and others when we make a mistake or are brought to our knees. It's a way of living and leading with an undefended heart, truly open to others, and with a spine strong enough to withstand the experience, learn from it, and carry on. I hope my speech has proven to you that you can look up to an author as a mentor, and the book you read can be your conversation with that mentor if you are able to take the lessons from that book and apply them to your life. I would now like to leave you with 3 quotations from Dr. Fauci's book. These are quotations that he learned from his Jesuit education. Men for others. That is the motto of the Jesuit movement, signifying that they seek to serve the public. Precision of thought and economy of expression. The Jesuits strongly believe in maintaining that at all times, which is something that we as Toastmasters can very much appreciate. And finally, illegitimi non carborundum, which is mock Latin for don't let the bastards grind you down. Madam Toastmaster.
Please give a big round of applause to D-Term Kaushal. After listening to your speech, I definitely agree with you that people whom we haven't met can be our mentors if we have an open mind. And I'll take the lessons which you have learned from your mentors, who are the 2 authors. Be calm and compassionate. Be brave. And also be honest when you make a mistake. Wonderful lesson. We'll move on to our next session, which is the table topic session. Our table topic master for today is Isam. That is also his project. His pathway is effective coaching, and the project is active listening. The theme for his table topics is Beyond All Limits. Please put your hands together to Toastmaster Isam.
Thank you, table topic master Anvita. So for the table topic, I have chosen a little bit different methodology. I would like to share my screen now. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what we are going to be doing is, I'm not going to give you a statement or anything for you to talk about, but I'm going to share some pictures. Because I believe a picture is worth 1,000 words and more, beyond limits. So I would like, when I share the picture, you can talk about anything. You can relate it to your life. You can describe the picture, or you can just tell a story with respect to the picture itself. So that's the trick. Again, in this session, we are going to be looking at speeches, maximum 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minute speeches. So let's start. Shall we start with Sumesh? Okay. So the first picture is this. So this is your picture for Sumesh. You can start as you wish. Sumesh, Toastmaster Sumesh.
Thank you very much, Madam Sir Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guest. This is an interesting picture. Someone who has reached the summit, raising their hands in jubilation. And this summit can be whatever is a very small or a very huge goal for us. It does not matter what the goal is. What matters is what is our intention in terms of achieving that goal. Are we intent on enjoying the journey while reaching the summit, or are we only focused on just reaching the summit? This is an extremely important intent that will help us in terms of reaching our goals. Because sometimes what might happen is that we go for a particular goal and we might not achieve that goal. Edison, Thomas Alva Edison is a great example. He has done hundreds of experiments, but out of those hundreds of experiments, what would be successful would be a very small percentage. But he never lost his heart because his whole interest was in discovering and inventing new things. He just went for his passion. And even though he failed, he did not worry about it. I think this is what is the most important thing that we lose when we grow up as adults. For example, when we were learning to walk, each and every one of us at a certain point, say 1 year or 2 years, when we were that small, we were learning to walk. How many times we would have fallen while we were learning to walk? Innumerable times. But we never, as child, we never thought about those failures. We just kept trying again. And then finally, there was a time when we started walking. Right? So this is the most important thing to understand, that enjoy the journey. Destination is important, but always try and enjoy the journey. And even if destination is not reached, that is not the end of the world. Over to you, Mr. Topics Master.
Thank you, DTM Sumesh. Very well said. Enjoy the journey itself. Destination is not the end. In the process, we fail, but again, it's important to get up and then learn from it and move forward. Thank you very much, Sumesh, for that. Next, can I call upon Fatima for the next picture? Okay. DTM Fatima, this is your picture. DTM Fatima.
Raise your hand if you believe that humans can overcome any challenge in life. Any challenge. I totally agree. I didn't believe that though. Until recently, we started doing our neuro-linguistic programming. Now, we were given on the last day, on one side, we had to write our obstacles, and other side, we had to write our goals. And we were given a board of this thickness. And I was looking at this big board and thinking, can I break it? Now, this is the limiting beliefs we have, all of us, human beings. Yet, what I found was that it has been a learning since long ago. It became crystal clear that you can overcome any hurdles, any village of obstacles that we see in the picture. Just reframing our mind, changing our mindset to be positive. If you want $1 million, can it be done? Raise your hand if you want $1 million to raise. Yeah, work for it. And the more we expand our mindset and belief system, we can do amazing things. And every time I do my prayers and put my forehead on the ground, I know that it's possible. Because around my friends, when they change their mindset, they can achieve anything. Look at the world leaders, look at the community members. They have become world experienced leaders by overcoming the hurdles. You can win your $1 million. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Fatima. Very well said. To overcome any challenge, we have the capacity. It's just a matter of changing our mindset. So I think that is something that we need to cultivate or promote within our teams, within our reach, whoever it is, that anything is possible. The only thing need is believing and then changing that mindset that we can do it. Thank you, DTM Fatima. Next, let me call upon DTM Kaushal. DTM Kaushal, your picture is this, DTM Kaushal.
Mr. Topic Master, why did you give me this photo? Have you been watching me drive lately? Do you think I am driving too fast? Well, as a matter of fact, I probably am. The temptation to drive in excess of the speed limit is always there. It always feels like if I drive at the speed limit, I am driving too slowly. But I have learned something fairly recently that if I go above the speed limit, I might be able to drive safely. I might retain control of the car, but I am making it more difficult for other people to join the road. When other people are waiting in intersections to join the road, if I am driving too quickly, they have to wait longer because I am making it unsafe for them to join the road. So that is a purpose of speed limits that a lot of people don't think about. They think, oh, I'm a good driver. I'm alert. I'm not going to hit anybody. But if you drive beyond the legal limits, you make an unsafe situation for others, even though you might not see those other people. Mr. Topic Master.
Thank you very much, DTM Kaushal. I believe you that you always drives within the limits. As you said, it's very important. And then there's a purpose why they have limits, rules, and regulations. One is safety. For us as individuals, when we think about our growth, we should and think about the limitations. Because if we don't look at it, sometimes we might come to a dead end. We should rest. We should take care of ourselves and then move at a steady speed. Consistency is important. And then looking into those limitations and then thinking about what are those and how we can overcome. Thank you very much, DTM Kaushal. The next picture, let me call upon DTM John. DTM John, this is the picture for you.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master. I've got the best one of the lot, I think. It's a stairway to heaven. So yes, we all are saying to get higher. And it's higher in life, higher in your personal life, your professional life, and everything. So this covers about everything when you think about it. And because when you look at that, it's into the clouds. And in your personal life, you want to be the best. You want to get the highest. In your business life, you want to be the highest. You want to be the best again. And I think this represents that ideal to get high in your life, as well as the spiritual area of it, because we try to do things well for other people so that we can eventually go to heaven, heaven or hell. So I hope I'm not at the top of the ladder going down, but I'm at the bottom of the ladder going up. So yeah, we look at it in that perspective, that we build each run as we go along, and we hope that at the end of our life, when we add up the good and the bad, the good is a lot more, and we're let into the pearly gates of heaven. So that's how I'm looking at the moment, in a spiritual way, to go to the clouds, to get into the clouds, and go to heaven at some time in the future. So thank you very much for that one. I think that's the best one tonight. And over you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, DTM John. Well said. Aiming for the high in every aspect of our life. So this should be our aim personally. So it should be a holistic approach, personally, business-wise, spiritual-wise. And then it should not be only in a certain aspect, but we should always be looking from all aspects how we can achieve the highest and then reach to the highest. Thank you, DTM John, for that. Let me call upon guest Irfan. Irfan, are you there? Okay. So Irfan, your picture is this. Guest Irfan.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Uh, to my understanding, this picture shows that when we move towards the journey to achieve our goals, sometimes we become frustrated or disheartened, and we do not know how we can move forward to achieve our goals, because whenever a person wants to achieve an objective, there are always obstacles and the limitations, as you shown previously, the speed limit, because that is a limitation by the law that we have to follow. Otherwise, human endurance has no limit. As there are few movies like the 24 hours in which a person is stuck between the two rocks and he cuts his arm to free himself from there. And similarly, there is a movie Castaway in which a person is trapped on an island and he eventually escape from there and reaches his home. So when we are achieving our when we are on the path to achieve our goal, there is always frustration and the hurdles. But we if we uh, do not stuck in the myopic vision and see a longer picture, then we always see a light at the end of the tunnel. So we should always, and this requires some experience or practice. Initially, when we make goals in childhood or in adulthood, so we usually sometimes get frustrated and we leave our goal. But we should always, and when we achieve some goals after the setbacks, so then we learn that how we can, with resilience and with hard work, we can achieve our objectives. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, August Irfan. Yes, in any journey, we will face obstacles. There is going to be limitations. Is always looking at the end because there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. Very well said. It's up to us how we are going to be looking at these aspects and trying to overcome those things. Next, let me call upon Toastmaster Anvita. Anvita, you are there? Okay. Toastmaster Anvita, this is your picture. Toastmaster Anvita.
Do you want to sit on the edge of the cliff to enjoy the view like this person is doing? Good day, Toastmasters and dear guests. Yes, the view is always better at the edge of the cliff, but it doesn't mean that you have to put your life at risk. Should you tell yes to taking risks? Yes, but only if it ensures that you grow professionally as well as personally. Along with that, if you get peace and happiness, then definitely you should tell yes to risks. For example, you have to upskill. You have to spend a lot on that, provided when you learn that, you will get some more opportunities. That investment is good. On the other hand, if somebody is asking you to take some risk, which is really risky to your life, to your family members, and also to you in a financial way, then I would say don't take that risk. For example, if you're a person who's suffering from asthma and somebody tells you, hey, go and climb Mount Everest, I'll give you so many dollars. You know that there is a real risk involved here. Your body will not support it. Will you still go ahead and do it? It's not worth it. Dear Toastmasters, it is good to come out of our comfort zone only for growth. It is good to take risks only if it will deliver good results for us in the long term. But if it is really risky to everything we have built and to our life itself, then it's just not worth it. That's why take risks, but in a sensible manner. Over to the table topic master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anvita. Very well said. Making informed decisions. We should not be afraid to take a risk. We should take risk for the growth. And then we should measure those risks before making that decision so that we are on the correct path. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anvita. In today's Toastmaster topic, I learned a few things. And those are from Sumay's speech. We learned that enjoy every moment is not the final destination that we are worried about, but the journey. in Fatima's speech, we saw that importance of mindset, having the right mindset so that we can achieve the goal. In Kaushal speech, we saw that to be within the limits, how is it important? And then for DTM John, aiming for the high from a holistic perspective. Guest Irfan mentioned that we are going to be facing obstacles. It's again looking forward. At the end of the tunnel, there's always light. And then the session ended with Toastmaster Anvita's speech saying about taking the risk and making those decisions. Thank you very much, all of you, for participation. And back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Isam. Please give him a big round of applause. Thank you for pushing us beyond our limits by having a different kind of table topic session. You gave us pictures and people interpreted it in their own way. By doing it, we did come out of our comfort zone. And as our different table topic speakers said, we have to aim high because with the right mindset, we can achieve anything. And on our journey of achieving success, we have to enjoy every moment. And while enjoying, we have to be considerate about others. Only then will we be able to enjoy the light at the end of the tunnel. Moving on to our next session, which is the general evaluation session. Our general evaluator and his team will tell us if we have pushed beyond our limits today or not. Over to you, DTM Somesh.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. This is the last section of our meeting, which is the evaluation section. We have got one speech. So we have got speech evaluator John Khalid, DTM, and then I will do the evaluation of Ahmed Isam's topics master role as well, because he's doing it as a project. And then we'll have the reports from the timer, and then I'll have a final report of how we did as a meeting. So first of all, going over to DTM John Khalid to evaluate Kaushal Gupta's DTM speech. Over to you, John.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Well done, Council, for finishing this Persuasive Influence Level 2 Informational Toastmasters Mentoring. A different angle. I like the angle straight away when you came out with the title, Looking Up to Authors as Mentors. I think it's unlooked at before because I've never come across it, so it's well. When I thought that, and it started to make me think, and I think everybody in the audience was starting to think, authors as mentors, whether they thought about it before or it sort of brought it out for them. Then you gave us two authors, Anthony Fauci, the medical doctor, and you give Moran Edgar Hood. I actually, before I saw a picture of her, I thought it was a man, but that's my thing, Moran. I was thinking of an Irish name. So, two contrasting authors. I thought that again, whether it was well done there. That you get two contrasting authors from different aspects of their life or everybody's life. You gave a couple of quotes in there from different books. One was from Anthony Fauci's Calmness and Compassion, and then you give the bishops good courage to persevere. So I think you had to have read the books to actually come out with that. So you came to us with an air of authority in saying those two quotes, and you realize as a person in the audience you've read them, so you knew what you were talking about, and I thought that was very good that you could actually do that. And then you ended up with giving us a couple of favourite quotes at the end, and I like the way you ended it, and I won't swear. What you said, But I thought it was very good when you came up with those three at the end, just to let's understand that you can get mentored from a book. When we think about the amount of books on self-improvement that people are reading to get them to self-improve their self, I find that then gives authenticity to what you were actually saying. So well done there. A couple of things I'd like you to look at, and these are not great things. The title, Looking Up to Authors and Mentors. If you could have put authors as mentors, and then a couple of question marks, yeah, it then will hit the people in the audience. Authors and mentors, question mark, to get them actually thinking about it. Yeah, looking up and don't say, you know what I mean, you're looking at it. But authors as mentors and then start to get them to think a little bit more. The other thing is to have a reasonably good opening. Okay, you finish well. The center of the speech was absolutely brilliant with all the bits and pieces in it. But I would like to see a little bit more at the opening. Some quote from a book that you've got about mentoring that you can hit us with straight away. And I think that would enhance the actual beginning of your speech. But apart from the rest, fantastic. Just those two little things to look at. And I said they're just nitty things. And I thought the speech was well done and excellent. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Huge round of applause to Sean for a great evaluation of Kaushal's speech. I think there's a good bit of commendation that John has done, which is always good. And then he had a couple of recommendations as well, which is really positive, because it's only with recommendations that we can grow and cross our limits. The beyond our limits theme is really applicable in this regard as well, because whenever we get these recommendations, that's where we can always try and work on it and improve. But it's really interesting for the caliber of the speech that Kaushal has given. It is indeed difficult to give recommendations, but I think, John, you've done a good job in terms of doing that. So well done and great job, as usual. Thank you so much for your evaluation. Now I will do the evaluation of Isam's table topics session. A great idea, Isam, in terms of having those pictures and actually giving an introduction about picture is worth more than 1,000 words. So well done on that. And then this is always good that you ask the people for topics. I've seen many people just asking for volunteers. That causes a bit of confusion because generally it's like sometimes people will volunteer, sometimes people won't. So it's always good to just ask name a person and then they will talk if they can. If they can't, they will say, please give me another. I've seen that happen. That also happens, but that's fine. So well done. Great set of pictures. Very thought-provoking ones as well. You've done, we can really understand you've done a good bit of background work there in order to find those pictures which will be suitable for this theme. And it is a bit challenging as well. And one of the things about picture is that you can take the topic anywhere you want to. If you're asking some question in words, there also people can use their creativity and imagination and do lots of things, but this gives beyond the limits kind of options where you can talk about anything. So well done on that. You are actually summarizing things as well, which is really a great way to do the topic session, that you summarize in the end. You actually give the people that impression that you have heard them well, and then you're kind of giving it back in terms of what you understood from what the people said. So that was really great. And in the end, you did an overall summary as well, which was a great idea. So I don't know whether I have any recommendations for you. I'll need to think a lot to give you some recommendation on how you have done. In terms of nitpicking kind of thing, what I could say would be that maybe when you're giving the summary, you could be more succinct. That's something that you can work on, but it's difficult to do that. That is something that you can think about. Otherwise, well done and a great set of topics. Really interesting and really thought provoking and really engaging for everyone involved who are answering as well. And you had everyone there. So we had how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us are there. So you had 6 of us fully engaged in all the 6 topics, which is really great. There is another thing. Sometimes people ask for follow-ups as well. So if there is a one follow-up or something, maybe you can incorporate that. Just one follow-up, not too many. Two, maximum 2 people say, but 2 is also sometimes people get a lot of time to think about things. So you could probably have asked, does anyone want to follow up? And maybe have another perspective to one particular topic. Another small recommendation. But otherwise, thank you so much for leading this great topic session. Now, the third, the important role that we have, the timer role. So I would like to invite Fatima to please help us with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, JE. For tonight, we had only one speaker. Usually, Kaushal is very on time. Tonight, he was 8 minutes and 17 seconds. I presume he couldn't see that timing because of the setup or speech. For the table topic session, Shamesh 2 minutes and 27 seconds. Myself 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Kaushal 1 minute and 35 seconds. John 1 minute and 53 seconds. Irfan 2 minutes and 18 seconds. And Mita 2 minutes and 23 seconds. So all table topic speakers are within the time. Evaluation, John 3 minutes and 29 seconds. He was asking whether he was in time. Usually he's over. So he's tonight on time.
1 second.
1 second.
Under.
Shamesh 3 minutes and 12 seconds, all are within time. Thank you so much. Over to you, Jimmy.
Thank you very much for a really comprehensive timing report, Fatima. Much appreciated. Now we go to the final part of this general evaluation, which will be the overall evaluation of the meeting. We started bang on time 2, and now it's 10 to 3 here in this place where I am in. So the timing was good. We all did a great job, and I think all the roles, we are an advanced club, so we do quite well in terms of filling in for people whenever someone is not able to come. So that was really great as well. In terms of the Toastmaster role, Anvita, as usual, has done a great job in terms of very professional introduction of the whole Beyond the Limits theme, and then moving the meeting forward very seamlessly. So huge round of applause to Vida for a great job in terms of Toastmasters role. And what else? The timer role I've already told, and those topics master, we have done a separate evaluation as well. So that's all. I think it's really great that we all are together and we all are able to make this time despite our so busy schedule in terms of whatever we do on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's really great that after which the meeting number is what, 220, we are still there, we are still together, and hopefully we can continue this journey as much as we can. So with that, thank you so much, and I would like to hand over the virtual gavel to our Toastmaster, Anvita Hegde.
Thank you, DTM Somesh. Please give him a big round of applause. On a parting note, I would say that we should always keep on going beyond our limits, because only then will we know what is possible and what is not. Let us set our own rules always. I would now like to hand it over to DTM Fatima. Over to you.
Very once again, very good day to everybody. I like Samaj said, we are so occupied. I'm stopping saying busy now because that's a word we need to change and say occupied. Very occupied. We are going through training programs, and in the bodies is exactly very bad. Coming fast is 6 to 7. We are in Malaysia, it's nice time. That's the challenge we are having. We are trying our best to join. Again, it's been a wonderful meeting, and please be aware that we are having our elections through Club Exco. So we would like to invite you to step up and take roles so that we will be having our expo elections in first week of June to get everybody. I'll put a notice there. So with that, once again, for all the role players, well done. And over to you, Anvita.